In a remote village called Ravenshire, located in what was once a British colonial region of South Asia, there lived an elderly woman known to everyone as the Mad Healer. Her real name had long been forgotten. Some said she was born into a wealthy landowning family during the late colonial period, while others believed she had inherited strange knowledge passed down through generations to the villagers. She was both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, people would travel from distant places seeking her remedies, her herbal medicines, her whispered prayers, her uncanny ability to cure illnesses that no one else could understand. But on the other hand, there were darker rumors. It was said that she did not only heal, she could also harm. Some claimed she practiced forbidden arts rituals, performed under moonlight, strange symbols drawn in ash, and silent conversations with unseen entities. Livestock had been found dead without a wound. Families who had crossed her spoke of sudden misfortune, unexplained sickness, and nights filled with terror. Her house stood isolated at the edge of the village, surrounded by towering trees and thick overgrowth. Behind it lay a large, still pond, its water dark and unmoving, as if hiding something beneath the surface. No one dared to go near her home after sunset, yet, when desperation struck, she was the only one they turned to. The old woman lived for an impossibly long time. People said she had crossed 100 years, some even whispered she was far older than that. Then, one winter evening, she died. It happened just after sunset. The air was cold, unnaturally still, as if the entire village was holding its breath. But the moment her death spread through the village, something felt terribly wrong. Out of nowhere, the sky turned violent. A storm of hailstones began to fall, loud, aggressive, relentless. It was the middle of winter, a time when such a storm made no sense. Then came the dogs. From every corner of the village, stray dogs gathered around her house. Dozens of them, maybe more. They barked and howled without stopping, not like normal barking, but something desperate, almost terrified, as if they were warning the living, or reacting to something unseen. And above them, the trees filled with crows, hundreds of them, even though it was night. They refused to stay silent. They screeched and flapped wildly, circling the house as if something had disturbed the natural order. Inside the house, her lifeless body lay on a wooden bed. The villagers tried to prepare for her burial, but every time they attempted to dig, a grave water seeped up from the ground. No matter where they dug, the earth refused to take her, so they had no choice but to keep the body inside. They placed her in the main room, cleaning her with rose water and perfume, waiting for the storm to pass. But deep down, everyone felt it. This was no ordinary death. Something had begun. By the third night, the storm had weakened, but the unease in the village had only grown stronger. Inside the house, a few villagers stayed behind to watch over the body. They sat around the room, quietly reciting prayers, trying to calm their fear. One by one, they fell asleep. All except one. An elderly woman remained awake, softly whispering her prayers under her breath, her eyes fixed on the still body lying in the dim of an oil lamp. The sound crashed against the tin roof. The old woman flinched. She looked around quickly, but no one else woke up. Not a single person moved. It was as if they had fallen into a sleep too deep, too unnatural. Then she saw it. Near the closed window, something shifted. A shadow at first. It was faint, almost unnoticeable. But slowly, it began to take shape. Something was entering the room. even though the window was shut. The shadow slipped through it, like smoke passing through cracks. The old woman froze. Her voice stopped. Her breath slowed. She could only watch. The shadow, it stood tall, too tall. Its body was darker than the night itself. Its hair hung long and tangled, almost touching the ground. Its arms, unnaturally long. For a moment, it did nothing. It moved toward the corpse. Each step was silent, yet it felt heavy, as if the air itself was trembling. The ritual standing beside the dead woman, the shadow reached up and plucked a single strand of its own hair. Then it bent down and began measuring, from the head to the feet, carefully, precisely, as if confirming something. When it finished, it took the strand of hair and held it over the oil lamp. The hair caught fire instantly and vanished. The shadow remained still for a moment. Then it turned. It walked toward the sleeping villagers, one by one. The old woman watched in horror, able to move, unable to scream. The shadow leaned over each person, and just like before, it plucked a strand of hair, measured them, but this time did not burn the hair. Instead, it slowly brought the strands to its mouth and swallowed them. The final act. After it was done, the room fell silent again. The shadow returned to the corpse without hesitation. It lifted the body into its arms, as if it weighed nothing. Then it turned toward the wall and began to fade, its form blending into the darkness, melting into the surface, until it was gone. The same heavy sound echoed on the roof, and then nothing. Morning horror at dawn. The villagers woke up, confused, disoriented, as if they had been pulled out of a deep, unnatural sleep. But something was wrong, very wrong. The body was gone. Panic spread instantly. The elderly woman, trembling, told them everything she had witnessed. At first, no one believed her, until they checked the others, one by one. They realized the truth. Everyone who had been asleep in that room was dead. Later, a traveling mystic was called to investigate. After hearing everything, he gave a chilling explanation. The old healer had not worked. Alone in her lifetime, she had bound dark entities to her will, forcing them to serve her. But death breaks all chains. The moment she died, those entities were freed, and what they did that night was not random. It was revenge. The animals, the storm, the terror, all signs of their release, and the shadow was their leader. It came for her body, and for the souls of those who were closest. Some doors, once opened, are never meant to be closed again.